Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video here on my YouTube channel. And in this particular video, I really want you guys to watch this all the way through the end. Like, if there's one video on my YouTube channel that I just need you to watch all the way through the end to really make sure you get your value from it, it's this one. It's a conversation between me and my editor, like kind of like a heartfelt conversation between me, my editor, and his duo about what they potentially could be doing way better this season. Because I feel like everyone has shortcomings. Obviously, no one is perfect at competitive. Like, no one's actually good enough to like really optimize everything, but we really need to criticize and really learn from our mistake, right? And we can do this ourselves. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys watching in this particular conversation can learn a lot from what we talked about and how we approached figuring out what next steps are. And you can do this for yourself. You can actually sit down, take 5-10 minutes and really think back, like, last season, what did I do wrong? Where did I miss out? What are my shortcomings? And really work hard on fixing all of them and really make sure none of them happen again in this season. Literally take a pen and paper, like, write down the stuff that I've sort of told them so you can apply it to your own gameplay and to your own mindset, and things that you can apply to fix yourself for the season. Because ultimately, I feel like a lot of people are just approaching the thing wrong, right? They're not either, I don't think it's as simple as like just doing a ton of hours, right? Obviously that can help, but in this video I really break down like what they should be focusing on based on their shortcomings. And obviously those things won't be the same for you, but I show you the procedure of like how to get that for yourself. So let's get right into the video. Enough dilly-dallying, and I want you guys to pay attention, get a pen and paper, really write down all the mistakes, and really pay attention to how I approach this coaching session. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys at the end.
My mental is all over the place in solos.
Yep,
Like,
which is normal. Yep.
I can't like keep a good mental throughout a whole solo tournament. And then that like affects my decision making a lot, because I'll just do shit that I wouldn't do if I was trying to play to the best of my ability. And then solos past that, I think my biggest weakness was like in opens. It is incredibly easy to make it every end game with cap mats, like everything you need.
Yeah, it is.
And then in finals, I can't make a single. I've played 18 solo final games, and I cannot make an end game with good loot.
I hear you.
So I just don't know like how to play those.
Sort of address your first problem, right? Let's address the problem that you sort of mentioned, like my mental. Now this happens to a lot of people, right? Like a ton of people, where they go so hard on mental, like they know their mental's a problem, and then they're like trying to fix their mental so hard that they start like beating themselves up the fact that they can't keep a good mental, right? Because like, think about it this way: they know they should have a good mental, but right now they have a bad mental. So while they're playing the tournament, they have a bad mental, and then now they feel even more guilty because they can't fix their mental problem. So it's like bad mental squared. Does that make sense? Like, not only do they have a bad mental, but then they're beating themselves up for having a bad mental, which is like even worse. So now like you're playing a tournament in like the most horrible mental state possible. Like it's really bad. So what you should do, at least right away, like this is how you can sort of fix half the issue. Don't feel so bad that your mental's all over the place. It's not just you. I'm telling you, 99% of like players that play solo cash cups feel like this. It's normal. That's why I said, like, literally as soon as you said that problem, I told you, I'm like, this is normal. I said it for a reason, right? Because I see it everywhere. There's not a single person who like doesn't have a tough time having like a good mental. Like, it's tough. It's not meant to be easy. So first thing, it's like, it's kind of difficult to get to the point where like you are just like, okay, yeah, cool, go next after dying. That's really hard. I actually don't even think it's remotely possible. I think what you should think of it is like, that's gonna happen. Now what the pros do is they don't let it affect them, right? Yes, they get mad, they do get mad, right? It's just, it doesn't affect their play in such a negative way in the next game, and that's what you need to work on. I wouldn't try so hard to try to remove the anger. Let the anger be there, but then just like by the time, like, you know, it takes some time to queue again and like get back into it, recover faster, right? Don't try so hard to like not rage, because like that'll happen. I don't blame you for that. Like when Donnie dies, like he rages too. I tell him like, yo, don't let it affect your next game. I don't tell him not to rage. I tell him don't affect your next game. That's the important thing. So like, let yourself rage. It's sort of like, think about it like letting it out. Like, it's almost like it's like you're taking the weight off of you. It's just nice. Just play completely solid next game. That's all you care about. Okay?
Don't let one game affect the next.
What's that? Sorry, say it again.
So just don't let one game affect the next.
No, not at all. Like, theoretically, you can get as mad as you want as long as you play normally next game. Because like the problem for most people is that they play worse next game, like significantly worse. That's what people
Yeah.
have like a problem with.
Making different decisions based off. my
Yeah,
last
yeah,
game
yeah.
should
Because
not
they're like
happen.
genuinely tilted. Yeah, yeah. Like they make horrible decisions. And then like if you're making horrible decisions based off of what happened last game, then that's a problem. But realistically, you can mess up like 2-3 games as long as you play normally to like how you usually play in the next game, you will qual. It's not a problem. But yeah, the biggest problem absolutely is like people are good enough to qual, they just like sort of let mental get to them, and then that's the issue. But I think honestly you should have a goal of making every single round 2 next season. You should be ambitious. Like don't make goals that are like whatever. You should make goals that are worth reaching for, right? A lot of people are like, oh, like make like reachable goals. I'm like, if you make reachable goals, like I don't know, that's not actually that like crazy. It's not a goal worth achieving, so then you won't work hard for it. But if it's like a crazy goal, like making every round 2 next season, then you'll work hard to achieve it because that's worth it, right? Because it's like damn, that's a big step, right? So I would say like my recommendation is like make ambitious goals. It's okay if you like don't make it, because even like half of that, making half of the solo cash cups is like much better than, you know, like what we did this season. That's a big step, so let's do it. And what was the other thing, your second half? I forgot what you said.
I really bad at playing stack games. Like the 3 finals I made, I did terrible in them.
Where do you land?
Different place every time.
In every finals or every finals game?
Every oh fuck. The first one. The first one I did the best. I was landing llama conned.
Yep.
And I won 4 out of 6. So that was the one I did best. I got like 30 and something.
Yep. So here's the thing about finals. That's really important. You need to have good loot. And when I say good loot, I mean off spawn, right? There's such a big difference because I've like obviously I've coached Donnie and some other people in round 2 as well. And the biggest differentiating factor between whether they make money or not is super simple. They have good loot or they don't have good loot, right? And that's the key. That's genuinely the key. So how can we do this? So I actually like your first week the most, where you landed llama. The key thing is you need to win 6 out of 6, right? Like obviously it's much easier said than done, but you can get good enough at a spot like that where your percentage chance of winning gets much higher, right? So why do you feel like you won the 4 out of 6 and didn't win the other 2? Is there a definitive reason, or do you feel like luck?
It was before covert, so it was just like fully. That was when it was almost fully dropped. So 3 games I think I killed him. 1 game he dipped, and then 2 games I dipped because he had a better drop. So it was basically all drop.
There we go.
So I could have just had better.
So here's a very simple, very yes or no question that I want to ask you. Can you practice your drop outside of the tournament?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
100%. So I was fully underprepared for that drop. I didn't have a drop map until 15 minutes before the tournament. Like I don't know what I was thinking.
Notice how like confident I am that you were unprepared. I don't even know how much you practiced. I never even asked the question. I just know, because you can't prepare enough for your glide. Like you really can't. Like you absolutely need to get that right, especially when you're landing at some place like Llama Split where it's only dependent on your glide. Like some places there is like a plan B, plan C. If you like plan B for Llama is like GG. Like you lost the game. That's plan B.
Yeah, literally.
Like pulling off is basically saying I fucked up. Like I like this game is so beyond fuck, because like you have to understand round 2 is good people. You're not gonna be able to like go somewhere and then catch someone off guard because like they're gonna expect it, right? And even if it's like 0 earned players, they were good enough to make it to round 2. Clearly they're gonna know what they're doing, so there's no comeback from it.
There's no free fight.
There's no free fight. There's no like miracle impact that you find in the first zone. Nothing's gonna go right for you. You absolutely have to get the glide right. Very important. So that's what I would recommend. Like whenever you land, obviously you don't have to land Llama Split now next season. Depending on the meta, you should choose a really good spot. And obviously even if it's like Llama Split, like I don't know, like choose a good spot. Like, but understand you can prepare for your job. You need to prepare 100%.
Yeah,
it's gonna help a ton.
We were way more focused on our drop. Like the second half of the season, we hadn't realized how important it was to have like a planned off spawn. Like we were kind of just like, we knew we were landing. We had a drop map that wasn't perfect, and we were just compliant and didn't like improve it. And then we kind of realized in FNCS, like we died like half of our games in the first 2 minutes. Like that is so bad. And so like for our last cash cup, like we super prepared, and we realized that we didn't die a single game off spawn. Like because we put in the preparation. We made a loot
Exactly.
route. We made a better drop map. Like
You'll
we will
notice that you feel
100%
better.
know.
Like
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
need to like analyze like how many yacht spawns you do, but you just feel better, like significantly. You can feel the difference. So if you can feel the difference, that's like genuinely one lesson you need to take with you in the next season is your drop is really important. And notice
Oh,
something,
yeah.
it's not like scrims, right? So like if someone's like bad at endgame, I don't like be like, oh, like why didn't you practice? Like there's only a limited amount of scrims. For drops, you can practice drops as long as you have hours, because it's available at any time of day. Literally, like why not do 500 drops against each other? And if you do against each other, it becomes something like competitive, where like you're sort of trying to outdrop the other person. One person will get better, the other person will like sort of fall behind. It's like, oh shit, I need to pick it up. Gets better, and then you guys are like slowly getting better together to like towards perfection, right? You just have to push towards that. There's no excuse there, I think, for drop. So like if it comes down to drop, you absolutely can outwork the person that's conning you. And that's what I like about places like Llama Split, because if it only comes down to drop, you can practice for that, and then you just win. You genuinely just win.
People conning you. Yeah.
Exactly. You need to think of it like in business, there's something like how like if someone's in your market, like someone's in your like area of niche or whatever. Let's say I'm selling shoes, and then someone out, like there's another business across the street that's also selling shoes. I don't know how much they're grinding, but that doesn't matter. I just need to grind more, right? So like the like you shouldn't sort of be like, oh, the other guy's probably not practicing drops. You don't know, right? So because you don't know, you have to assume they're doing really well.
Try doing 13,
yeah, you should just practice
as much as I possibly can.
As much as you possibly can. There's no harm for that. Literally, it goes as hard as your work ethic allows, and that's what I think is really important to understand. Cool.
That's great. I hadn't thought about it like that.
Yeah. That's what people do in business. Like they don't know how much the other person's grinding, but they're gonna be put out of business if they don't work hard. Because maybe the other guy's working harder. Don't know.
Yep.
Okay, cool. J-Dub, what's up? What do you want to talk about? What is your problems in solos? We know about the nervousness, right? Is there anything else? That's all.
There's I don't really want to play solos that much anymore, just because it's like so not fun, because I'm so nervous all the time and I can't fix it.
Okay,
so I don't know if I want to like play solos.
Yeah, so here's the thing. What do you think I'm gonna say to that?
That I have to practice being like, or fixing the nerves.
Okay, here's the thing. Why do you think I'm gonna say that? Let's break it down. I am gonna say that. I want to hear your thoughts on why I would say that.
You say that because the only way to get better at it is to do that.
That's one of the things. Yeah, I agree. Like you have to get past nervousness. Like there's no like practice outside of the game. There's no like replication of the pressure of the tournament. So in other words, to get rid of nervousness, the only way you can fix it is experience. In other words, you just have to keep going through it until it becomes so like numb to you that like the nervousness doesn't even affect you. Right? So it's sort of like the same thing I said with the mental. Stop trying to fix the nervousness. You need to not let it affect your play. That's what you care about. It's okay to feel nervous. Like for example, when I play tournaments, I feel a ton of pressure. I do. I just play like a robot. That's it. At least I try to. Right? So like it's okay to feel nervous, like crippling nervousness. It's fine. As long as you can deal with it, you become numb to it and your play doesn't suffer, that's fine. That's good. You'll place. So being nervous is so painful that you don't want to go through it.
Yeah, basically.
So like, here's a couple questions that'll lead you to like your answer. First question: do you want to be a pro in this game?
Yes.
Okay. Second question: how badly?
Very badly.
Okay, so then what hurts more, the nervousness or not being a pro?
Not being a pro.
Yeah, very like.
I want to focus more on duos, because like the solos is like, oh.
So here's the thing, duos is fun right now, but eventually when you start making heats, you're gonna run into such big obstacles that if you can't solve such an easy problem like solos, you'll never be able to solve the hard problems in duos. So that's my worry. My worry is you're falling over when you can't solve the nervousness issue in solos and you don't want to play it, but you don't realize that there's so many hard things that are coming for duos. Maybe it's comfortable now, but it'll be difficult later. You'll start making heats, and then that's the furthest you'll get because you don't like problem solving. See what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, I'm not so concerned that you're not making money in solos. That's not my issue. My issue is the attitude. My issue is the give up because I don't know how to solve this. Like, that's not how you do anything in life. 100%. Right? And so here's a couple things. I'm guilty of it too. Everyone is, right? Like, problems are hard. These are very big, serious obstacles, but we all know that like the correct way to do it is to actually try to solve it. So like, you could go 3 seasons straight where you don't perform in solos. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You should continuously try to solve it. Like, what else are you doing during that solos time? Like, that's actually that important? Nothing. To go through it. It'll actually prepare you for duos. Like, if you get into duo grands, yes, you're playing duos, but you will be nervous. So you need to solve this issue.
Okay.
So think of it as like developing your own skill sets. Like, take as a chance of doing that. And I do believe what you said is true about how like you're not trying in solos because being nervous is painful. But then remember that trying in solos is something that's really important because it's genuine tournament experience. And actually, being nervous is a nice superpower. I'll tell you why. Because other people that play solos, even if they're trying, they don't have that pressure, right? But you get to practice in an environment where the pressure is intense because you're nervous. So it's almost like you have an advantage here. Take it, like, now you just need to play it because it's like a really nice practice environment. Yeah,
because you can just practice that, and then when you're not nervous in catch-ups anymore, and you're nervous in grands, then you know how to deal with it.
Exactly. And other people won't because they don't care so much about solos. So I actually think caring is good. That's why you're nervous, is because you care about the result, right? And sure, you can pull back a little bit on that, so like you don't care as much, so you can actually perform. But like you care so much about the result that you can't even play it. Like, you'd rather not play it. You'd rather grief so you could say that you griefed. There's an excuse there. So like when someone asks you like, how'd you do this, Cashco? Oh, I just keyed everyone. Instead of saying I tried my best and I got 60 points. Cool. Sounds good, guys. If you have any questions, just DM me, of course, and we'll talk again when the season starts.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Of course. Take care. Bye. Good. Tell me what you guys think about that sort of coaching session, because I thought it was super valuable for them, because now they're in a frame of mind to succeed this season. And I honestly believe, like, way too much. Like, look where these guys go in this season just based off of the feedback that I've given them. And I really believe, like, you don't need me to do this. You don't need me in a call. Like, go do this yourself. You can be self-reflective. You can be aware of your own mistakes. You understand where your stuff is going wrong. I honestly don't think it's that complicated. Just sort of sit down for 5 minutes and really think, like, where am I going south on this sort of season, and how can I make sure season 2 is a success, right? How can I get rid of my shortcomings and really focus on that? I promise you can figure it out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything at all, leave them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.